Newsflash, you guys, Drake and Kendrick Lamar, they've got some beef. These two have been making loaded diss tracks about each other back and forth for months now. These diss tracks are loaded with some pretty serious insults and accusations and have amassed hundreds of millions of streams from fans. It's basically the biggest pop culture news at the moment, and at this point, people are wondering if this is just some big publicity stunt or if this is a real rap beef that's gonna linger on forever and become the defining hip-hop beef of the 21st century.
A long-standing feud between rap artist Drake and Kendrick Lamar is once again heating up.
A war of words turning into a full-blown feud between two of the biggest names in rap, Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
This has got to be one of the most brutal rap beefs in history.
I've never seen a rap beef like this. They're going the back and forth.
Are you Team Drake or Team Kendrick Lamar?
Now look, I'm not a pop culture guy. I do like rap music. I've been listening to it my whole life, but this is not a rap channel. This is a real estate channel. So of course, this is how my mind works. I'm thinking, okay, of course we've got music beef happening between these two, but is there any chance there's some real estate beef too? Well, it turns out there actually is. A big part of the Drake and Kendrick feud has been calling out details about each other's personal lives. One of those details being their real estate portfolios. As I kind of expected, both of these guys have spent big money on real estate, some pretty cool real estate, since their music careers took off. And Drake specifically is actually one of the wealthiest rappers out there. His net worth is hovering around $250 million, so you know he can afford some crazy houses. Kendrick has done pretty well for himself as well though. He's had years where he was the highest paid rapper in the industry. Kendrick's net worth is hovering around $75 million. Anybody who clicked on this video and was hoping to hear some of the diss tracks that these guys are putting out about each other, sorry, we're not getting into that today. If you do have some downtime though, you gotta go check some of these songs out. Not gonna lie, they're pretty entertaining. All right, so we're gonna look at a total of 3 properties for each one of these guys today. We'll start with Kendrick, and let's take a look at his $8.6 million penthouse in Brooklyn that he bought late last year. I'm not gonna give the exact address, but let's put it this way. Kendrick bought into a very popular waterfront building that's a hot spot for celebrities. Matt Damon, Amy Schumer, and Ed Sheeran all also live here. Kendrick lives full-time in LA though, so this little $9 million apartment in New York is being called a pied-à-terre, which is just a really fancy way of saying it's a vacation home. According to the listing description, they call his New York spot a sprawling penthouse with nearly 2,000 square feet of outdoor space. It's got views of Lower Manhattan and the Brooklyn Bridge, and it comes with 4 bedrooms, a den, 18-foot ceilings, reclaimed pine floors, and tons of building amenities. In the cover shot from the listing, they want us to know 2 things right off the bat. This place has very high ceilings and it's got some pretty epic views. The patio's pretty awesome. It's crazy to think that this is actually in New York City. I'm guessing this is the rooftop, not a bad place to grill a steak. The kitchen's a decent size for New York. Not a ton of seating though. It's got a patio right outside, and look at this patio. There's a patch of turf. Something tells me the person who owned this place before had a dog. If we head down these stairs, we're gonna end up in another living room, probably the master bedroom, great views, and a bunch of mirrors on the ceiling. Really clean master bath with a ton of marble. And then in the back corner of that lower area, we got a little office, another seating area, and bunch of storage under the stairs. Not a bad start for Kendrick. Now we're moving on to a house of Drake's. This one is known as the YOLO Estate. It's a pretty comparable price tag. Drake paid $7.7 million for this house back in 2012, although it is a very, very different house. Surrounding this property, Drake actually put together a bit of a compound here in Hidden Hills. He ended up buying 3 total properties. Now this is hilarious. So when this house was listed for sale, they straight up just called it the YOLO Estate. Like they used that as a part of their marketing tactics. 12,500 square foot house. Master suite alone is 2,000 square feet. That's basically bigger than my house. And this isn't even close to Drake's craziest house that we're talking about today. It has a tennis court, a basketball court, a volleyball court, a horse stable, an equestrian ring, a mechanical riding bull, and a 25-seat movie theater. There is a lot going on in the drone shot. Driving up to the place, this does just look like a compound, straight up. Like this doesn't look like a single family house at all. The swimming pool is insane. There's a bridge, there's a huge waterfall, there's a TV over there. It's got its own fireplace, another TV above the fireplace. Inside it kind of has like a little bit of a cabin vibe actually. I'm not gonna lie, I hate how they cut this granite slab like this. Like they should have just kept it squared off all the way up to the ceiling. Okay, here's the dining room. Here's the kitchen, another seating area, and look what they're imposing onto these TVs. Since this is Drake's house, I'm gonna guess this was Drake's recording studio. There's that 2,000 square foot master suite they were talking about. Big hot tub and shower in the master bath. Can you imagine having a 25-seat movie theater in your own personal house? Like, I don't even think I know 25 people. Really crazy looking wine cellar. Ooh, and then they take us into the grotto. Check that out. I do not want to know what was going down in this grotto. Here's the tennis court. Here's the volleyball court. There's the mechanical bull. This is where you put your horses. This house is absolutely insane, and Drake actually sold this house in 2022. He got $12 million for it, which sounds really low to me. I mean, he made $4 million or so on the sale compared to what he bought it for, but $12 million to get all that house? Seems like a smoking deal to me. Now, we know that these properties are more than just housing for these guys. These are huge multi-million-dollar assets that make up the majority of Drake and Kendrick's net worths. I mean, if you think about these houses that these guys have invested in, it's cool because you can live there, and when you're done, you can sell it and cash out, usually making a profit. But let's be real, these houses aren't the only physical assets that celebrities and billionaires own. I'm talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce spending $20 million, Jeff Bezos spending $70 million, Oprah making a $60 million profit. They all put money into something even more exclusive than real estate, fine art. Like, we're talking multi-million-dollar paintings from Basquiat and Picasso. And with today's sponsor, Masterworks, we can get into these blue chip fine art investments as well. Masterworks is generating great returns for their investors. Over $55 million in total proceeds have been distributed to investors across Masterworks' 22 exits. How it works is Masterwork buys a blue chip piece of art like a Picasso, and then we can invest in that piece of art in the form of shares. It's cool, you can totally control the size of your investment with Masterworks. You no longer need millions of dollars to invest in these works of art. If an offering that you've invested in does sell, you would actually receive a share of any proceeds. Like I said, Masterworks has completed 22 successful exits so far. And by the way, you don't need to be an art expert to invest with Masterworks. They have over 900,000 members already, and with that many members, shares of some paintings have actually sold out in minutes. If you're interested in diversifying your investments and getting started with Masterworks, you guys can use the QR code on the screen or the link down in the description to skip the wait list and start your art investment journey today. Thank you, Masterworks, for sponsoring this week's episode. Let's get back to the video. All right, back over to Kendrick. Let's talk about the $16 million ranch house that he bought in Bel Air last year. And by the way, Kendrick is not making my life easy putting this video together. It turns out he is a very private dude, much more private than Drake. There's still a few articles out there about this house. He picked it up under list price. The home is an older one from the 1950s. All right, here's the front of the house. Definitely got a historic look to it. Very bright inside. All the walls in my house are white, so I'm a fan of white paint for sure, but this is almost too much. This is intense. The wood floors are nice though. We got white cabinets and white countertops in the kitchen. Nice sized master bedroom, and man, every room in this house has amazing natural light and views out to all these trees and stuff. Here's the master bath. Here is the home gym. This one's got a home theater too. So that's, I think, one thing that's very consistent. Both of these guys love their home theaters, that's for sure. I guess there's another gym and another kitchen. Man, look at the backyard though. I could totally picture myself sitting here with a cup of coffee every morning, although it is a little hard to picture Kendrick Lamar in this like environment. I don't know, just when you listen to his music, he's so intense. Like, I picture him to be more in a bachelor pad or something, but it's a nice house. Okay, back to Drake. This next house is where Drake's bigger net worth really starts to show. Let's talk about the Beverly Hills compound that he bought back in 2022 for $75 million. The estate is located in the quiet and private hills of Benedict Canyon, so it's not a huge surprise that it's a place that Drake wanted to live for a while. Drake actually recently relisted this house for sale though, so we've got plenty of recent pics to look at. And I saw some people saying that this Kendrick beef is somehow related to Drake selling, like Kendrick is driving Drake out of LA or something. Not sure about all that, but here's the house. It's got 10 bedrooms, 22 bathrooms, 25,000 square feet, and it's sitting on almost 20 acres. I told you guys this house was a compound. Here's the motor court in the front of the house. The backyard is huge and super private. It comes with a tennis court. Something tells me Drake has never used that tennis court. Still cool to have though. And then check this next one out. So this is your property. 20 acres with nobody in any direction. Through the front doors, honestly, the house feels a little blah, especially compared to the last house we're gonna look at today that he lives in Toronto. This is one of the main living areas, a bunch of places to sit, 2 fireplaces, and some great city views through those windows in the back. This room's staged kind of like a lounge, but this would make for an awesome office. Here's the dining room. Interesting, the kitchen's kind of closed off. It's like a galley kitchen with 2 islands in it. It's not something you see typically in these higher priced houses. The master bedroom is huge. If you can walk behind your bed, I mean, come on, that's how you know you made it. It's got these curved ceilings, which are pretty cool, and then this monster slider. Oh my God, this is the master bathroom. So the sinks and the little makeup station are over here. There's a full-blown living room in the middle of the bathroom. The closet also pretty much comes with its own living room. Like, look, you've got a seating area here. You have a closet in the back with a bench over here. Look in the other direction, there's another closet with a bench, and then another closet over here, I guess just for shoes. This side of the bathroom comes with one of the nicest freestanding tubs I've ever seen. Look, it just goes on and on. I think we're still in the master bathroom. More couches, another floating vanity over there, another freestanding tub over here, and another closet with an island in it back here. On the lower level, we've got this game room area that feels like a speakeasy, a huge wine cellar that just goes on forever. There's probably storage for like 5,000 bottles of wine down here or something. Here's another game room in case the first game room wasn't enough. There's a big old gym somewhere in this house. And then out back, it just shows us a bunch of shots of these grounds. If you live in this house, it's gonna feel like you live in a resort, basically. I would not want to be the person who has to clean this place and maintain these grounds. He probably just has a never-ending stream of people who are constantly maintaining this property, like trimming the bushes, cleaning everything up, dusting. But even with all that work and maintenance, it would be pretty awesome to live here, I'm not gonna lie. So is Drake selling this place because Kendrick is driving him out of LA? I think some people just have wild imaginations. I'm pretty sure he's just selling one of his houses. Okay, Kendrick's third and final house on our list today is his $9.7 million spot in Manhattan Beach. This is possibly the coolest house on the list today, at least from the exterior picture, but unfortunately, without giving the address away, I wasn't able to dig up too much more on this property. We know it's in Manhattan Beach, which is a super cool and laid back beach community in an area that's known as the South Bay. The property that Kendrick scooped up, he bought back in 2019. It was never publicly listed for sale, so there's basically no specs or interior photos out there other than public records, which says that the house has 4 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and about 5,300 square feet. And the only other thing that we know is that the developer of this house was this local company called Powers Development, which, according to their website, they specialize in all kinds of projects around the South Bay, so I'm sure they did a great job on Kendrick's house. We saved the most expensive for last, you guys. For the last house in this Drake-Kendrick real estate duel that we're doing, we gotta talk about Drake's mega mansion in Toronto, which is valued at somewhere around $100 million. It was actually kind of hard for me to find much out about this place at first because when you Google Drake's Toronto mansion, I guess there's been a bunch of trespassing and security related threats happening around there lately. But don't worry, I did find some photos of the house, which has 50,000 square feet of space. So starting with a drone shot, you guys can already tell that this place is gonna be good. Here's another angle looking at it kind of more straight on. On the left and the right, we've got his garage spaces, and then there's the front door in the center. I love this picture with this little guy here walking through the gates. It just gives us the perspective of how massive this house is. Inside is where this place gets really good though, you guys. So here's the foyer. Check out some of these finishes. It's kind of hard to tell what we're even looking at here, but I think this is a staircase that's winding up this center section with a bunch of chandeliers kind of like staggered in the center of the staircase. The mirrors in the back make it very disorienting. Oh look, there's Drake. They say this is the great room. Beautiful kitchen, not my style at all, but I've never seen an island built out like this. I love it though. I'm guessing this is the master bedroom with some very fancy nightstands, a bar behind the bed, and then what looks like 2 couches on either side of the bar. Lots of white and black marble in the master bathroom. Very cool standalone tub over here. Kind of curious what's behind those curtains, and then little makeup station on this side. Look at the master closet. I mean, this place is polar opposite from Drake's house in Beverly Hills. It's kind of funny to see the contrast. There's Drake again, hanging out in his lounge/nightclub is what this picture says. This is part of his recording studio, another area in his recording studio with the Rolls-Royce ceiling up here. All right, I'm not gonna tell you guys what this one is because I sat here for a second trying to figure it out before I looked at the caption. So go ahead, make your guess. This is an indoor swimming pool. If an indoor swimming pool wasn't enough, the place comes with an indoor basketball court as well. I'm just gonna go out there and say that this is probably Drake's forever home. He's from Toronto. This place is built out exactly to his specifications. He's probably gonna hang on to this one forever. So that's a wrap, guys. That's the end of the beef. What do you guys think? I mean, Drake obviously has spent a lot more money on real estate. Kendrick maybe has a little better taste. Let me know down in the comments who has the better real estate portfolio, who's the better rapper, and I'll see you next week.